Let's see what's going to happen in 2023 for Kim Taehyung. Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? It is Friday. I can't believe that this week is just oh, with all the snow and the cold. And today, it's like it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, that's great. And then it warmed up a little to 19, and then now it's just dropping again as the day goes on. It's cold. It's very cold. And any snow that's been out there is out there. It's not going to melt because it's cold. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome. I am Dee Sparta. Welcome to my channel. Wow, here we go. We sometimes study astrology of the different celebrities and idols and people that we talk about, even when it comes to the true crime tarot. If I have any if I can get any of the details, I do try. I do use tarot. I'm a psychic medium. I use other divination tools, or I just open myself up and I can read, especially with images. I do love to use my pendulum. Some of you might be familiar with this pendulum of mine. Um, she is very good to me. And I use oracle decks. Don't just use the regular tarot cards. I have a huge collection, and I also use the Lenderman deck that is from the Victorian ages. So yeah, there's a different. I use various different tools to help divine things. Wow, folks, that was a mouthful. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. This is my little Pusheen mug. This is a few years old because before I started getting mystery boxes and such and subscriptions, the very first subscription box I got and I got it for my whole family because my wife and both kids love Pusheen, was I saw an ad for a quarterly subscription. We got that for a few years, and that's where I got a lot of Pusheen things. And then I still buy. In fact, oh my gosh, my gaming mouse pad. I just looked down at. It's Pusheen also. Okay, yeah. The goth in me also is cute. Okay, I like cute things too. All right. Okay, so hey, we are going to talk about Kim Taehyung, V of BTS. I have earlier this year did a series on all the members of BTS, and I did go into their birth charts. I'm going to go through a refresher since I have so many new subscribers, and I don't know, if you've gone through the playlist and seen. I'm also going to remind myself today to create the playlist that's for the BTS 2023 readings, so people can just watch those instead of the long BTS playlist that there is, right? Um, if you want me to organize place also by the person, specific, member of BTS or member and relationships, I can do all that. I will, let me know if that's the kind of stuff you want me to be more organized, because I like I love spreadsheets and doing things and organizing stuff, because I don't know, I'll enjoy that. All right. So, yeah, so much has been happening with going on. People in BTS. Jin is in the military right now. I understand that the South Korean government is trying to come up with some laws and different things to help protect Jin security wise, and I'm like, why didn't you do that before? Hello. That should have been done before he arrived. Just saying. And, also, there is going to be a way that Army can message and contact and just let Jin know that we're still here, we love him, and we're still sending our prayers and lots of positive energy and good vibes his way for his safety and his well-being. And I do hope the government gets their act together so nothing does happen to Jin. And that's something we could all hope and pray for, because I had seen that if something isn't done like fast, there is going to be a situation. I think it may be honestly somebody in the military, and I'm worried, but I believe that it doesn't have to happen. And that's one of the things I want people to remember. Just because I see something that's going to happen, kind of like with the Busan concert, I had seen what would happen if they had remained at that place, but there was the hope that they're going to make changes, because if they realized these dangers, it's not, they could avoid it. And unfortunately, they did avoid it and put them in a stadium, and it was a great concert. I still watch it, okay? I admit, I still put it on and enjoy the music, the dancing. Run is, oh, they did the choreography and everything, and you see it all over TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but it's great, it shows a lot of their skill too in that song. It's just, I love it. Anyway, I'm going on and on. So just because something is seen doesn't mean it's going to actually happen. And sometimes we can hope it doesn't happen, or we can hope that it does. Because everybody here, we all have the ability to change. We all make our own decisions. We're not cookie cutters, we're individuals. So something may, if we're on a path, the ending is gonna be this, but we can change the path. We always can change it. We are not doomed. And I want that to be very clear. So if I've done personal readings for you, and it always has, I try and if I'm seeing something negative, I want you to know that this doesn't have to happen, and you can make that change. You can. All right. So yeah, there's just a few things I wanted to discuss, because I know. And also, don't be careful about relying too much on tarot in your own personal lives. Yes. I will tell you right now, I do not pull up the cards before I make any decision. I do pray and I do meditate and I ask for, divine guidance. Yes. And go forward. Sometimes I will pull out my tarot cards to kind of get an idea. Sometimes I just kind of want to see what's this month going to be like and what's going to happen. I like that, but I do not rely on it to make my decisions in my life. And I think that's really, really important for everyone to understand that, you shouldn't just rely on something like this. We are humans and we can make mistakes. Just because we're seeing something the way I'm seeing it and I try and describe it could be off, because it's coming through my own experiences and trying to explain things. Okay, so I might be coming out saying it wrong because I don't quite always like some of my readings. I'll be like, I think it was like Jimin's. There was stuff I was like, what is going on here with the guy? Jimin's reading was pretty intense. He's going through some major struggles. And I think a lot of it has to do with how successful his previous solo items were. I mean, he had done so well and breaking records and just achieved a lot. And that's a lot of pressure put on this young man to continue. You know, sure, it's exciting. Yeah, I did so well. There's like, wait a minute. I don't think I can top this. I think that was my peak. Oh my, is it hit my peak or not? And that's a lot of pressure. You know, for no matter how gifted or talented you are, you always, especially with certain, you know, there's you always have sometimes some little insecurities, and that's natural. So, folks, I've been rambling. If you stayed around, thank you. Now, I do put chapter links down below so you can skip ahead to the astrology or to the actual psychic and tarot readings. It's up to you. Or you can watch it all or watch it in reverse order, whatever. I just want you all to enjoy these videos at your leisure. All right, let's get into the next section. Hello, my friends, and thank you for sticking around. We're going to get into the astrology and cover a little bit of the planet of his birth chart, where the planets were all aligned with the stars and the signs. We'll get into all that. We're going to get into Kim Taehyung. He is the second youngest. JK is the youngest. Then it's V, then Jimin, and they're the youngies. The youngies. They like to say younglings. That was always sad, you know. Star Wars is like, Anakin, are you here to help us? He's like, I'm gonna. Yeah. Sorry, this is Star Wars Episode 3. Yes, I do like Star Wars. Okay. Anyway, they're the youngest. He's one of the youngest, and he's also very handsome, very talented. In the group, his positioning is he is a vocalist and a dancer. Now, I tried to say, I always put a disclaimer here. I think I know what the rising signs are. Could be wrong, but often it from what I have seen and my experience and all the information that I try to verify in Army, thank you for your help. You guys are awesome. We're going to get into this now. So I kind of know what it is, but I just want to put this disclaimer on before we get into it all. Now, we do know the sun and the moon signs. Taehyung, Tay, he is, his sun sign is Capricorn, which is earth energy, and I'll get into that. The sun sign, that is the core of our being. I just want to remind everybody what it is. It's that it's the core of our whole being, and it's like where the ego, our ego is. It's our self, but it's not always the self that we show, because what we actually show more is our rising sign. And for Kim, I believe it's Sagittarius, which is a very feisty fire sign. You know, yeah, you Saggies are feisties, and I love it. But yeah, there's that to keep in mind, in case you didn't know. And then there's the moon sign, and the moon represents our emotions and how we respond to things. And for Tay, it's Aries, another fire sign. So he's an earth sign surrounded by fire, which would just give him a very special dynamic, him being grounded and down to earth, and yet be able to present himself and with so much charisma, and a good performer. Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so now how we read a birth chart is you have the planets and there's the 12 houses. And the sun and moon are considered planets because, well, back in the old days, back when all of this astrology started, um, they did separate the differences. Okay, let's just put it that way. now, now the planets, that's the psychological urges when we're, it's the fundamental aspects and the types of the personality. So you see that, and then the house, whichever planet that house is in. Okay, now the house shows where consciousness is focused. It's showing where the action is. So then you'll see how that planet and its at the different aspects of that work in that specific house. Sometimes it's not in its house that is. There's the when you first look at it, Aries is usually would be in how astrology read. Aries was always the first house, but if your rising sign is not Aries, the first house changes, and so it moves everything. The signs, it indicates the energy that's working through that personality type. So if we have Mars, or no, I'll say a Scorpio here, and Venus, you're gonna see how Venus is home to both Taurus and Libra. But if you have Scorpio in there with it, then you're going to see different how relationships are affected with that Scorpio energy. Now, when it comes to signs, there's 3 different modes. There's the cardinal, which is the dynamic. It initiates and sets the tone for the season. Then we got fixed, and that's just how you persevering. That carries through the purpose. And mutable, which is an adaptable energy. It concludes and assimilates. Now, I didn't mention too much about the rising sign being where whatever it is, it becomes that first house. It gets put into the first house, which is our image, which is about image. We'll get into that with we'll see how, let's see here with V here. Let me pull up his little birth chart. There he is. We have what planets are there is both Jupiter and Pluto. Now, the planets, if you are not familiar, I will get into this and what they represent. When you look at the different planets, like Jupiter is about luck, and Sagittarius is with Jupiter. So those two actually do have a correlation. That's their home, and that's the way I'll explain it, as their home. And the other planet that we saw was it was Pluto, right? Okay. So Pluto's energy working through Sagittarius is a little different, because Pluto, its home, Scorpio is, it rules over Scorpio, but in this case, it's working through different energy. And Pluto is like the focus of a rebirth. It's the thing that is changing. It's how we transition and who we are. There's our sun sign has the things that we need to work on, and Pluto, is that action of rebirth, revealing of secrets and things coming out, and it's also our privacy, and yeah, and it's a repair, undoing things that are not good for us. So with the image, with the house, his image, he's going to always come across a person with these lined up like him could be trying, their image would change. They would go through a change and different priorities. And you have the Sagittarius, which is more, which when you look at Sagittarians, with that energy, it's, how did I, it's very feisty. It's idealistic. They have a great sense of humor. So you would see that part of him, and very generous. And he might come across almost a little impatient and not and being blunt, not having much tact, just will say whatever whatever's on their mind. So you kind of would see that with who he is. He probably is, I would say, you want, if you're Army and you follow BTS, you would remember the campfire, the camping, the interview that Jungkook set up time to sit down and talk to Taehyung, because their relationship had changed and there had been distance. And it was a matter of, let's sit down and talk and find out why this happened. It wasn't like they had any arguments. And you kind of see with, his first house, I could see, him going through and changing, Now, the second house is our worth and it's money. Capricorn is sitting here, and the planets that are there's a whole lot. This second house, where we're talking about worth and money, it is in an earth sign, which is exactly what earth signs are about, and it's Capricorn. And Capricorns, our little cappies here, this so when it comes to his worth, he very disciplined, self-controlled, good manners. He it's very responsible with his money, very responsible. Comes across very well-mannered, good self-control. And sometimes when it comes to material things, he can be a little condescending. I would think. Normally, Taurus and Venus would be in a line in the second house, your self-worth and money. But here's Capricorn, which is very similar to Taurus energy. But it's also, he's got his sun sign there. His communication, which is Mercury, Mars, which is that fiery actions, Uranus, and Uranus is where innovation is. And what was the other planet? I forgot. Neptune. And Neptune is inspiration. So what we're seeing here is a lot of stuff is focused on his self-worth and money, and I think that it's a very good it's a priority for him. It's his core. It's where he's learning how to be to be better at communication, to also learning so much about being more creative and inventive. I would say his ability to make money is because of his creativity, his ability, that musical dancing side, this creative side of his. So let's go into the third house, which is communication. Now we saw Mercury, which is a planet which dealing with communication, is up there, is up in the second house this time. For forte. It's Aquarius, and the planet that there is Venus. So we're talking, Venus is dealing with relationships and marriage, and so then you got Aquarius, which is an air sign, and it is all about, networking and working with others, not networking, but being independent. It's like they're humanitarian. So you're going to his communications. He probably does value getting to know others in his business, others where his interests lie. Um, but that's odd, Venus being there. It's because it's about love and relationships. So he probably communication is probably very important in a relationship. And what could happen if the communication breaks down, then a distance will develop, which you might say that happened with JK and V before they had to rebuild the communication. All right, so the fourth house is family, it's home, and it's where you're secure. Pisces is there with the planet Saturn. Now, Pisces is water energy. Saturn is normally a Capricorn, is it rules over Capricorn, and Saturn is about the structure. And so, family and there is he probably the structure there, that is probably so key for him and those whom he would call family. It I would say just because it's home, its roots are traditions. And this Pisces, which is water energy, it's the two fishies. It's mutilated. It's mutable. And it's really, this is where you see a lot of the artistic, compassionate, and intuitive music. So, he probably gets a lot of inspiration from those around him, and works better when things are in his family and home life is good. That structure is important for him, and yeah, that's kind of what I see here. When we get to the next house, which is the fifth house, this is expression, it's creativity, it's pleasure. And the sign that's there is Aries, which is a fire sign, and which is also his moon sign. The planet there is the moon. Now, it's interesting, the moon is there with all we're dealing with, that all of his expressions, his creativity, and his pleasure, when we're dealing with the subtleties of a person and how we respond and our emotions. And then you have Aries energy popping in through there. And so in his how he creates music and different stuff, art, photography, this is real important to him. This is how he can express himself, and you see a lot of his emotions. These projects, these things that he puts its artisticness into, you get to see a side of him that he's not always showing. His emotions really do affect how what happens. Now, the sixth house is work and health, and Taurus is there. There's no planet in this house. It's just Taurus energy, and Taurus is we're dealing with an earth sign, and it is fixed energy. So that's why it's a bull. It's a little stubborn. it's that reliable. So when it comes to work, is somebody, who can be patient with others, very devoted and responsible. There's a stability about their work ethic, and they're very reliable. But they can be a little uncompromising about things when it comes to work and that creativity and what they're putting out. It's like, I want to make this right. So it sometimes people come across, when you're a manager, it's just like, which would be me. I'm a Taurus, and I've been a manager. I'd be like, this is what needs to happen in order for this to happen. But I want to do it, but we're not. That isn't going to give us the result I need. you know, I don't care if there's someone says you can do it another way. you know, I might have been a little bit like that sometimes. But was I right? Yes. Okay, let's get into the next house, which is the seventh house, which is, our descending sign, which I didn't mention before. And this is partnership and marriage. So the sign that's there is Gemini, which is the twins. There's no planet in this house at the time of his birth. So what you're going to see is what his priorities in his marriage, marriage and partnership. He might be attracted to Gemini. I mean, that's a very good possibility. It's this energy is positive. It's about communication. So once we're seeing this, how important communication is to him in his partnerships, in his relationships, in any, if he were to get married. When it comes to his relationship, he'd be very affectionate. He would want to exchange ideas and work things out. Very curious and gentle. He can be nervous in a relationship. Yeah, so he might want to take little short trips with his partner, his marriage or whatever, his friends. You kind of get that vibe. Now the next house is the eighth house, which is about transformation and sexuality. I even said that word, your sexuality here. This is normally Scorpio with Pluto energy, but we don't have that here. Instead, Cancer's there, and there's no planets. So Cancer is usually about emotions. It's a water sign. Water is a lot of the emotions and feelings. And it is cardinal, feminine, negative energy. Cancers. So when it comes to this transforming in sexuality, you're going to see, it's I don't know quite how to explain it. This energy is very creative, very imaginative, and loyal. So things that he's working on is to become more sympathetic and not and work and be careful about being manipulative or suspicious or pessimistic. These are things, and work on his own insecurities is transforming all of that. His belief systems and higher learning is the ninth house. And for Taehyung, the ninth house, the sign that's in that house is Leo. and there's no planet there. Leo is a fire energy. Let me tell you, it is fixed, and it's positive, masculine. It is creative. It's passionate. It's warm-hearted. It's cheerful. It's arrogant and a little self-centered. So, with his belief systems and higher learning, I would say he probably spirituality is not as important to him as to some other people, I would say. He probably leans more towards, gosh, he could be, more agnostic, but, or atheist, that doesn't mean, maybe that's where it's changed and he was, or that's what it's going to change to. That's kind of what I see here. I would say when it comes to learning, his higher learning, um, because it's Leo, he would go more towards the creative arts and focus on that. I think creating is very spiritual to him. All right, now let's get into the 10th house, and this is career profession. This is your responsibilities. This is your reputation and your standing in life. Normally, this is Capricorn and Saturn, which is the structure. For our man here, his I just lost it. I should know what it is. It's Virgo. That's like this is definitely is an example of why he is so extremely successful. And in BTS and stands out as he does. There's no planets there. You notice most of the planets were all in the worth and money. So in the rest of the chart, I don't think there's any other planets anywhere. Now, Virgo is very hardworking. They are about work. Sometimes it's all work, no play. So when it comes to his career and his reputation, his reputation is very important to him because he sees how important it is to his career, and he recognizes he has a responsibility because he is so well known and looked to. Virgo is, he'll want to be very loyal to his company and those whom he is working with. He can be very, very overcritical of himself and others. It's like, this is what I know you can do better. I know I can do better. I'm gonna keep trying, kind of thing. Now we're gonna move into the 11th house. This is goals, aspirations, and groups. And Libra is there. Now, when we're looking at, the personal goals and working with groups and aspirations and having a Libra there, and it's the scales. So when he's working with others and he would be able to, he could become very indecisive, but at the same time, he's fair-minded, and would want to avoid any kind of confrontations within a group, which would build up also sometimes separation. He could come across diplomatic and very cooperative. Like he would work well in a group. Would he carry a grudge? Possibly. If someone in the group upset him, this little grudge, he would hide it probably. And until it's dealt with, he'll just keep holding that little grudge. That's a possibility. I'm not saying he definitely can, but this is the energies when he was born, what it kind of shows it could be like. Now, the final house is house 12, and this is where our soul growth, the undoing of things in our lives, secrets and our privacy. Um, the energy there is Scorpio, which is fixed water sign. Um, so he could be working on, once again, we're seeing, working on being distrusting or manipulative, working so that he isn't, um, working, Scorpio energy is transforming. It's very powerful, very passionate. There's probably a lot of secrets, and he's probably wants to be very private about um, his relationships with others. Just kind of keep that all quiet and down low kind of thing. So there we go, have it. I didn't go through like this entire where all the massive details of the birth chart because we'd be here forever. But I did cover the 12 houses. All right, folks. So then now let's get into the psychic reading. First, I'm going to grab me a cup of coffee, ground myself, and then we'll dive in. And I will see you on the other side. Hi, everybody. We're going to get into the tarot reading. You know what? My camera got moved because of cats. So let's see here. Is that a little better, maybe? Okay, so we're going to get into the tarot reading. And I'll probably do just a really psychic reading too with it. The deck of cards that I pulled today happened to be my steampunk deck. I love that deck. It's pretty cool. I haven't used it in a while, so a pleasant surprise. All right. Here we go. Please remember that these readings are alleged and for entertainment. Okay. So Taehyung, what is going to go on for 2023? Okay. Interesting. First card pulled the Seven of Pentacles, and it's reversed. See that right here? Interesting. So this keeps coming up with a lot of members here. This whole working without reward, without, result. It's like without results. There's, distractions, things that, and I, there's been a lot is probably on his mind and distracting him from his, working on something. He's supposed to be doing his solo soon, I think. Okay. Okay, so two cards. We have the Ace of Wands. Now, Pentacles is earth energy, Wands is fire energy. Then we have the Eight of Swords, and I don't like seeing this. You see, this is having willpower and inspiration. So it's like, it seems to be getting zapped because he's bound here. See how the woman is bound with all the swords there. This the Eight of Swords is being entrapped, imprisoned. It can even be him feeling bad for himself, But I really think it's more of feeling trapped, imprisoned. There are things he wants to do, but is being told no. And it's feeling like, what am I gonna? Why, if I keep working, what are the results? What's gonna happen? And it may get, kind of, yeah. There's a stalemate. Mm-hmm. There is a common theme I'm seeing with all the young men here. A lot of it feeling like this work is nothing, but he's got a collab coming up, doesn't he? I'm wondering. Here's the Three of Pentacles. This is teamwork and collaboration. So it also could be he feels like all this work that he's doing with others is fruitless. It hasn't helped him. I don't know if that's it. I think it's more of there's definitely some collaborations he's wanting to do, and I think he's being held back on some of it. I really do. I think that's part of a problem here. Now, good news here is we have the Magician, and he's upright. Like with the Magician, you see the pentacle, the sword, the wand, and this representing the air. That's because it's about manifesting and creating. You have all the elements with you. You have the resources. They're coming to you. They're there. And with this willpower desire, there is something very creative, a project he's working on. It could be his solo project, but there's collaborations in it. I think there's one that he wants to do and has been kind of told no. And I think he's being reached out by somebody. No way. I just heard Justin Bieber, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of him. So I'd be like, no, don't do that, don't. But he is part of Hive America now, right? I don't know. Or Ariana Grande. There's something. Okay, now here's the Knight of Wands, and it's reversed. This is over where he's being imprisoned. This is, I don't trust your motives. Okay. This is, I am worn out. I am burnt out. I don't trust you anymore. You push me so hard, and enough is enough. And this card I just saw laying here. Unfortunately, the evil emperor, who's also pops up as the King of Swords reversed. It's the same. God, I'm telling you. It's like this dude right here. He's manipulating situations, finding the weaknesses in others. He's very cruel, and he's the one who's been trying to put a stop to these things, certain things. I think there's some jealousy involved. He's definitely in Hive. And he's stale, he's blocking some of the creativity, wanting to keep them there. So here is the Eight of Wands. He doesn't want it out. He's just like, I get out of here. This is done. This is, there is going to be something, rapid action, very quick decisions. I think with his collaboration, it's like, I'm doing it. It has to be done. And it's like, if I don't, I have to act on this fast, or it's not going to happen. Yeah. See here. Here's the Six of Pentacles. This is giving to others, and in here he has been giving. It's an unbalanced giving, uh, and so I see. It's like he's been giving, but not getting back. Okay. All right. So with this collaboration and having to move fast and dealing with the evil guy, the jerk. Here's the Two of Pentacles. So this is balancing a decision, having to do, and I'm seeing with his career, having to reprioritize stuff and be like, okay, I need to make a big decision and I have to do it for my own good. And oh man, there's two cards that are just laying here, or three actually, that had popped out. I didn't notice. This gets me. Here, this is the Three of Swords reversed. So this is a moving on, and like over here, it's over this section where I had said he wants to get out of here. He's gonna leave because there's this new opportunity. Here is the Two of Cups, and this is working a new new connection, new partnership with somebody. Let's see here. Okay, this card popped out. The Three of Cups. Yeah, we're dealing with community and happiness and friendship. So he's definitely, I don't believe everyone's going to be re-signing with Hype. I think some want to because they feel this loyalty, and I think it's this hard decision. And I think those who didn't want to leave has made the other guys feel like, well, I can't leave then either. But they're starting to realize, no, I'm getting stifled. I need to move on. I need to move on. I need to move on. I am now, I'm 30 years old. I'm in my late 20s here now. I am no longer a kid. I need to make some decisions as a grown man starting my life. I see that happening here. Let's see here, more cards. Okay. And here's the Six of Swords, and you see it's reversed. So he has been resisting leaving. There is the whole thing. There is resistance. He doesn't want to lose connection with members of BTS. He loves them. There is some unresolved. He has to deal with his mental health, what he has gone through. There is some PTSD because he's definitely been gaslighted by people in Hive, and I see this, and I think all 7 members have been. And here's the Queen of Cups, and she's reversed. And this is as I was talking about being gaslighted. They are trying to create a dependency. There's, I always talk about there's another woman behind the scenes, and she's not good. And she's always this person here, the Queen of Cups. And it's, she's preys on their insecurity to make them feel that they are dependent. And it's like martyrdom, meaning you have to sacrifice, do all these sacrifices because of everything I've done for you, kind of thing. Kind of want to now look into maybe his love life. Who wants me to check his love life for 2023 and friendship? If you don't, you can just leave now. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna my lemon deck. Let's see what's going on here with love. Okay, this card is popping out. Ooh, 36. This is the Six of Clubs. This is the House of Burdens. Suffering, religion, burden, sacrifice, kind of stuff. We'll learn more when I get more cards what this is good about. I love this coffee. Oh. It also helps, keeps my throat so I can talk. All right, so has he had his heart ripped apart by somebody? By a woman? A girl? Or that's what's going to be. There is somebody. She is a snake. Because the snake is all about, if I forget to mention to you guys, this is the House of Trouble. It's the Queen of Clubs. This is betrayal, sudden trouble. This is someone with malignant intent, and it's often a deceitful woman. So, and it's next to the cross, and you know, these both have these very religious annotations, with this representing Jesus Christ's resurrection, his death and resurrection. The snake represents the devil. Sorry, I'm adjusting the heat down below my feet. It represents the devil who lured Eve into trying the apple. And then Adam took bite too. And see, Adam had forgotten to really let Eve know this is a no-no fruit. And Adam, his fuck up, because he also did it too. That's why they say the fall of man. Now, if Adam hadn't, you know, or if he had let Eve know, hey, this is badness. This is stuff people don't always realize what's going on. But yeah, so with the apples and, you know, that betrayal, you know, it's real interesting with the whole, you know, Jesus was betrayed. That's why, you know, and so he was suffered on the cross. He paid the price. So that I am like, huh, let's see what's going on here. This is all right. I wonder if I'm not gonna see his love light. We're just gonna see something else here. This stood out. Woo! This is bad, folks. I don't like readings that are bad like this. These young men, this next year is going to be a lot of trials, a lot, because of so much transitioning in their lives. It started this year, but the impact, especially with Jin going to be in the military, he is away. And they're not going to be performing as a group unless the military allows something like that, especially with the Grammys coming. It'd be neat to see that being allowed. But it's like they've had a tough journey and they've worked hard. And yeah, they have succeeded. But there's stuff that we don't know that is more important to them than success and money that's being held from them. So this next card, the reason why I was all upset is because it's 10 with the scythe. This is the Jack of Diamonds. This is an ending, a fast ending. This is cutting down something sudden termination. It could also be surgery. Now, I don't think with him this is surgery because we're dealing with. So there is he could be dating someone right now, someone who he was thinking of maybe of marriage, but next year is ending. I know some people are going to be, oh, it's Jenny. I don't think it's Jenny. It's somebody else. Let's see here. A bunch of cards keep flipping out. I need to. Ooh, that pulled a muscle in my hand. That doesn't feel good. Let's see here. Okay. So. Yeah, this is about a woman. I think maybe the relationship hasn't started yet, but it's gonna not last long. I feel like this relationship, it's it's almost like, a rebound. But I think it's like more, this is a rebound from being used to living with 7 other people, being in this group and having this, there was an intimacy. I'm not talking sexually, but they had this family, familiar connection with, and then to be alone. I don't think he wants to be alone, and so gets involved with someone who is pretty much just wants to use him for who he is, his popularity. There's the key, and the key is card 33, which is the 8 of diamonds. This is the house of answers. So there is a solution, something we need to understand about dealing with her. Let's see what. See, there's just sly fox here. There's people, some bad people are surrounding themselves around him. I just feel, this is having to deal with work. I wonder if this person works or is contracted through Hive or is in the industry. She, yeah, because this is a trickster. This is about employment and work coming in, and this is right under this fast ending. I think he's going to leave Hyde for sure. I think this other person in his life is telling him, not to. But he's going to choose to leave Hive and leave her. Okay, here's 32, and this is the moon. This is the house of reputation, the 8 of hearts. So there is a positive outcome. All right. This is this is, I just think, this is he yeah, intuition, his intuition, he's going to follow his intuition, and because, and this is something that I saw in the birth chart, what's important to him is how others perceive him. And this relationship, and she's guiding him to, she's trying to get him to do things that he wouldn't, it would hurt his reputation, he wouldn't want to do. So he's just like, I have priorities here. Integrity is very important to him, and privacy. That's why we're not seeing much of a real relationship. Interesting, there's a child involved, or a young person. No, 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 no. Let me see here. Let's see here. Nine, which is a bouquet of flowers. And nine is the Queen of Spades. This is the house of appreciation. This is about luck, a gift. Pleasure, delight. Maybe this woman has a child. She's a mother already. Or she might try and say he's the father of her child. That is... She's being deceitful about something with a kid. The kid is the key. Her lying about a kid. But this bouquet, that means he's not going to fall for any of this. He's going to get out of it. He's going to get his head in place. Or maybe she could be wanting a child now and he doesn't. Something. He may not want to have a family just yet. Or the other way around. He wants to start a family and she does not. Oh, shit. That's it. And he ends the relationship. They don't have the same priorities. That happens. Is there going to be anybody else? Let's see here. I'm going to pull up the pendulum here. I'm going to try and make sure you guys can see her. Okay, let's see here. Please show me yes. Please show me yes. What is yes? Make it more pronounced, please. Thank you. It's back and forth, okay? Thank you. Please now show me no. Oh, no is going to be circular. Interesting. You're mixing things up with me, huh? Now show me something I don't know and it's unclear. It's undecided. What is going to be... Are you going to show it to me? Oh, there you go. Thank you. So that one's going to be side to side. I know what's going on. The song I had been listening to was a hymn to Pan. He's a little mischievous one. So I think that's why things are a little like, all right, let's see here. Don't mess with me, because I know usually, the circle is, but hey, it changes. And I'm kind of just getting a really interesting vibe right now. I'll play along. Let's go for it. Is Taehyung in a relationship currently? Is it the relationship that he is going to break up with? And we have a very strong yes, don't we? And it's just getting stronger. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Is he, after he breaks up with her, is he going to find someone else? Is he going to move into someone else? Okay. Is this person um, in his life right now? Is it someone he knows? All right. No. Interesting. Okay. Does V want to start a family? Yes. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see what happens. Um, it hurts. Heartbreak hurts, folks. And ending a relationship can be painful. You know, some of my relationships, I could still be friends with these people. You know, even if we go distance. Others, yeah, I don't even want them to know I'm alive or where I am. You know, here I'm on YouTube. But anyway, but you know they can't really find me. I hope not. He's too much of a chicken shit. Anyway, sorry. I was in a very bad relationship where there was a lot of physical and emotional abuse, and getting out of it was scary. Very scary. I got out barely alive. So but I survived. So, and I was able to get myself back up, and I became a mom, and then you know, met my dear wife, my soulmate. But I learned so much about myself and what is important to me and what I need in a relationship from this horrible experience. I'm not saying go through something horrible, but when we go through hard times, embrace the lessons that you're learning, because it'll help you avoid getting into that trap again. I could have gotten straight into another abusive relationship. I didn't. I got help and found somebody who also was working on having healthy relationships. So it worked out just fine for me. So have hope. Have hope for V too. Just because he may allegedly get his little heart broken and have to leave somebody and, you know, find someone else who's more in line with what he wants. You know, he's going to realize, wait a minute, this really is that important to me, so I need to move on. And that's what you know, and that's a good thing, and that's a lesson that we all need to learn. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm going to be jumping in and doing Jungkook next. Yeah. We'll get into that. And then next, I'm going to have to do some true crime or some paranormal stuff I want to do. I might do something Christmassy, like about Santa Claus or elves, you know? Why not? And I going to cover some more K-pop artists and what to expect for 2023. There is a video someone asked, I can't remember. It was look into Jimin. Is it Jimin and V? They asked me. I think that's it. Or is it Jimin and Suga? I will have to look at my comments again in my notes. I also have been pulling up certain groups of K-pop groups that you guys have asked me about. I'm getting their their astrology signs as much as possible, and I'm not going to do as in depth as I have with BTS. I'm not going to do individual groups for every single little member videos because I want to see how much traction I actually get, if you guys are going to watch these videos or not, because it's a lot of work, folks. I want to put time and effort, because and some of these groups I am a fan of and enjoy listening, and they're in my playlist and such. So I want to put out good content, and I want content that you guys are going to want to see. So also comment down below what your thoughts are. Let me know what videos you really would like to see me do. On my Patreon, I'm doing another very special BTS reading that has been asked of me. When my Patreons, you ask, you shall receive. That's really important. That's what I want to do. And I'm also offering free readings that will about your life, what's going to happen in 2023. As long as you are subscribed to any of the tiers, between $3 to $10, you will get a free reading in depth. Not like when I go live and I just do the 3 little cards or the pendulum. This is more in depth, and I would want to have like your date of birth, even if you know details like where you were born and time. That would be great, because I could go even more in depth for you and looking at what's going to happen in this 2023. So just remember, these are gifts to you guys for being so supportive to me, but you do have to be a Patreon in December and January. And yeah, you don't have to start at the beginning of December. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's anytime. Okay. And I hope afterwards you would stick around. Some of y'all left me after you got your readings. Oh, that was great, thank you. That hurt. And so I want to know what more I can do to keep you there. So let me know. All right, everybody. I love you. And remember, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Hey, I'll see you around.